This is part one of a two-part video series on the Protractor web app for the digital vehicle inspection. So in this section here, we're just going to cover some of the setup features, make sure you're okay with them and you see where they're at and you can find them in the system. Step one is in order to get the DVI working in your system, we do have to set up an integration. And when we do set up that integration at that point in time, then we would actually help you set up the manager, what we call a manager login and technician login. The thing you have to remember when you're doing this is you will need at least a minimum of two different email addresses, one for the manager himself and then for the technicians. Now you could have one single login for all your technicians, or you could have a separate one for each individual technician. It's whichever you prefer. But what you'll do is you'll get with support, or we'll get support to contact you, and then they'll get you all set up on this part of it here. Once it's set up, a couple things you want to be aware of is on the inspection results for the inspections themselves, it's going to use all of the original inspections that are in the system, and it's going to revert back to the original three columns, the OK, suggest, and required. So if you have added any additional columns or changed the names or anything, it's going to automatically revert it back to those three. In your location settings, as just a little reminder, there is a default unit that you can set in the location settings for the inspections. We'll cover that real quick. That'll be real easy to see. The inspections themselves, you can go in and still, go in and change what the lines state. If you want to add additional lines, break them up, things like that. We'll just kind of touch base on that for a little bit here. We can also set up text messaging templates. So if you are doing texting from the system, you can text out a link to your customers, and then they can get the link, they can open it up, and they can see the actual inspection findings with the pictures and videos and everything. And then one of the things that you want to be aware of is when you write a work order, in order for the technicians to be able to see that that inspection is pending, is you're either going to leave it as unassigned, in other words, not assign a technician, or put it to inspection in progress if you're going to assign a technician. So let's go over to the program and let's just take a quick look at this. All right, so in my setup, so what'll happen is once they have your integration set up, and that'll be down here, it's going to set up for your Protractor web app. At that point in time, that's when you're going to get with the support people, set up your manager and your technician logins. The next thing you want to be aware of here in your location settings, a lot of people forget about this, is under the inspection tab here. You can actually tell the system, what type of measurements you want to use as far as tread depth, tire pressure, pads and rotors, thicknesses, things like that. So a lot of people don't know about this. This was a addition to the inspections that was added later. When it comes to the setup results and everything, it's going to go back. It's going to revert back to the original OSR. No sense to change anything here because even if you do change it, it'll switch it back. And then it'll have the original comments in that were from the map guidelines. So the inspections themselves, anytime you pull up an inspection, I'm going to pull one up here. You'll notice here that I've added some extra lines like visual condition, place for a technician to put in their name, things like that. So you can always add, insert, edit, or delete lines. Then you can kind of customize your inspections this way. If you're texting, so in your text messaging, you can make a template. So if you've never actually made a template for this, this is kind of easy. And I'll just kind of open this one up and show you. So you'll notice, see, this is what I was trying to accomplish. So what I did was I started to write my text itself, and then I inserted these merge variables. So how does this work? In case you've never done this, I'll show you. So I'm going to hit add. So let's say I'm just going to make a new DVI template here. And then I just start typing. So I say, hello. I want to put the customer's name in. So in order for the system to automatically put the customer's name in, I would go to merge variables here. It's going to open up the window, and now you're going to have a list of all these variables. So if I want to put the contact's title or first name, middle name, file as, see, I just click, and what I'm going to do is just, oops, let me get the whole thing. I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to paste it in. And then you can write out your whole text this way. Now, when it comes to the actual link, there's one important one you got to remember here. So I'll just put it here is the link to your inspection. So I'm going to come back down here, and it's going to be this one right here. This is for DVI inspection. So I just copy and then paste it in. And you see what the system will do is when I go to text, it'll actually pull that actual inspection and send it to them. And that's all it is. Very easy to do. You can make multiple types of templates this way. The other thing that you want to be aware of too is in order to use the DVI for the technicians to be able to get in there and do the inspection is on your work orders. Again, either unassigned. Unassigned just simply means what? I don't have a technician assigned to it. Okay. Some shops, they don't assign them right away. The technicians just pull them as they can get to them. And that way they can just pull them and start doing them. Or if you have one that's already assigned, the system will automatically put it as inspection in progress. Now, most of the time, technicians, they're just gonna have the web app on their phone or their tablet or however they're gonna do it. And then they'll just access the web app, log in, then it's gonna list everything available. You can also access it up here in the ribbon from the work order screen. But if a technician is logging in, so let's go look at that here. I'm going to show you how that works. If they happen to be logging into the system also, they'll have the link right here, and this will jump out to the web app also. And then it'll show any inspections that they have. So you can get to it in many different ways, either from here, from the work orders as on the service advisor screen, or you just, once you have the app loaded on your device, then you can just pull it right up. So that's the basics of the setup. The next part to this video, what we'll do is we'll actually go launch it. We'll go into how to fill it out, how to do all the little features in there, bring it back, and then we're going to show you how to text it and how to email it.